Hey guys, this is Andy McCann here with our podcast where we try to help you learn how to lay a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finance here at the gym and anywhere else if you guys are anywhere else. So today I'm with Andrea Bauer. I'm actually really on her show or we're having a discussion, but I thought we would bring it and make it a real podcast and put it on YouTube as well for you guys to see. So we've got a nutrition challenge competition Kickstarter coming up. And we're going to talk about what that is, how she and Rick got into this business, a little bit of that, and how you guys are going to participate in making your life better with habits around nutrition. So if you try to lose 30 pounds in a week, you're probably going to die. So this right here is the way you should do it because we want to be harder to kill, not dead sooner. All right. So guys, of course, CrossFit Garage right here, where this is going to be a YouTube video and a podcast. So I'll try to say things in case you're not actually watching. We got smartandsimplenutrition.com, their website. And Andrea, how long or actually, where are you guys located physically?
Yeah, so Smart and Simple Nutrition is physically located in Peachtree City, Georgia, about 30 miles south of Atlanta. But
Nice.
we actually have coaches around the world, and we are anywhere people need us to be.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're online anywhere,
Yep.
right?
Yep, that's the
It is
beauty.
nice that you guys are local. Not that, I mean, I need to run down there and do anything, but I know you guys. I've known you for a long time, Rick as well. And so it's nice to be with trusted people, not just, hey, I found some random person online. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. Interesting fun fact, my son
yeah,
years ago, before we had met, was up at your gym for a competition. Didn't know it was your gym at the time, but we
it
were,
probably was. I mean, we've had
yeah.
this, I've been, so we opened the CrossFit Garage in 2008. I had three other owners. And let me pull this up, see if it's the Garage Games series, the Garage Games, the Garage Games. Let's see if it comes up. So it's still open. The competition they used to have, yeah,
Uh-huh.
I can't find it. But he probably came up to a competition with the Garage Games.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of cool.
Yeah, very cool. All right, so guys, I was looking to do some sort of nutrition thing with you. I am not the best at giving I'm good at individual nutrition. Basically don't eat stupid stuff. Come on, right? But then I get a little frustrated. So Laura typically does all this. She got promoted, is very busy. Rick started this business with Andrea, and I said, hey, this would be a good opportunity for us to work together. I have used them just a little bit ago when we knew we were going to do this. I said, hey, let me and my kids that are home before they go to school, let's use your coaches and your tools to see how it goes. And we all really liked it. And the coaches were easy to work with. Everyone had a different coach. And so all of our goals were different too. You guys know that I eat really weird. Right now I'm on the lion diet. So it's just meat, salt, and water. And I got a little bit of goat's cheese in there, and some eggs. But that's pretty much it. So I was doing that kind of with them, and they still were able to work with me. All right, so we're going to bring this to you really from Smart and Simple and Andrea's coaches. But this brochure or this flyer is kind of what we're going to use to talk about so we can actually understand what's happening. So in general, Andrea, what are we going to do?
Yeah, so our nutrition kickstart it's an 8-week fun-filled way to really kickstart nutrition. It is working on 8 different habits. As we go through the 8 weeks, we're going to work on nutrition because that is the foundation. But overall health and wellness also includes hydration, exercise, mobility, supplementation. Then we want support and accountability, right? You're on a team.
Right.
We're
Everything
going
works
to
better
keep
when
each
you're on a
other
team.
accountable. We're going to be in our nutrition app. We have our personalized nutrition app. And we're just going to come together for 8 weeks, support each other, and learn a whole bunch on nutrition.
And
Because I want to take a step back just
yeah,
really quick,
sure.
because you said you eat really weird.
I
And
do.
while I don't have any problem with the way you eat, it's not for everyone.
Oh, no, for sure.
And
Right now I'm just supporting Evan as he goes through this.
yeah, 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 no. But the beauty of what we do at Smart and Simple Nutrition is we want to find the sustainable plan for each individual.
Right.
Because somewhere out there in all the jumble that's in social media, and all the stuff that they hear around the gym, there is the right plan for
Sure.
each individual person.
Right. Yeah, it is tough to find it. And that's a good point. It's I didn't know that I was gonna like the no sugar, no grain life, and I love it. And
Mhm.
now doing this with Evan, so the other day we just moved him up to college and he's like, "Do you think you're gonna keep doing this?" I'm like, "I do. I actually kind of like it." He's like, "I knew it. This is you finding another thing." I'm like, "I don't know. It's just kind of neat to eliminate these things." Anyway, okay. So we've got this flyer up, or I don't know, flyer is such an 80s word, this JPEG up here. And it is 8 weeks. So actually, let's go with that. Why does everything always have to be 8 weeks? Is there a magic to the number?
There kind of is. So we want to help you solidify these habits that we've put in place for this challenge. Takes about 6 to 8 weeks to really feel like you're on a solid footing with them and you are somewhat coasting at that point.
Yeah. So I've actually heard a good things. I always told people it takes about 90 days to make a habit. And then
Mhm.
I heard, oh man, James Clear. It was one of those Atomic Habit books or whatever. But he said it doesn't necessarily take 90 days, but if you do a thing one time a day, 90 days. Now, if you're doing a thing like 9 times a day, it shortens it. So it's basically this repetition. So we know we're going to have food at least 3 times a day. So we're looking at, yeah, maybe it's going to be 90 or a little bit less. So there is weirdly magic to the number.
Right, right. There's somewhere between 20 and 30 meals a week that
Yeah.
you have a chance to solidify some good habits.
Yeah. And so actually this would be we didn't plan on many of this. She's freestyling with me. Okay. So what do you think about people trying to stay on a streak, or hey, I just try the best I can every day?
Right. So in the Kickstart, in the challenge, we are going to play for points. Okay. We're going to throw some dollars in there to make it fun, a little extra high accountability.
I
But
like it.
But we do give you opportunities to earn bonus points because perfection is not what we're looking for. We
Right.
don't want people to feel like they have to be perfect. We want them to learn how to live in the real world in a place that is somewhat sustainable for them. So we want to give them these bonus opportunities to be able to go out to dinner with friends or spouses, um, have a party. There's plenty of through the 8 weeks, there's plenty of chances to work on mindset as well,
Oh yeah.
learning how to find balance and learning how to push away bad habits and bring in some new good ones.
Yeah, I am a younger me would have been all about streaks. Like if you mess up, you might as well die. But older me is like, man, that was a really tough way to live.
Mhm.
Perfectionism is not, it's tough. So better, like it's like going to the gym. My plan is to go 5 days a week. I have it bubbled in my calendar, and there's an hour set aside for the gym, and I move it around based on what's going on. So I know I'm going to do it, but not every day it happens. Like today, I tried to move it around. I'm like, I just can't make it happen. And I own the gym. And I was like, I can't get in. And I could just go at any time and just work out, but I hate working out by myself. So I was like, well, I'll do something like take the dogs for a longer walk or whatever. So I moved. And it doesn't ruin a streak. It's not like all of a sudden I'm evil. It just means I'm going to do a better job tomorrow. I'm going to keep going
Right.
despite the streak. So kids do this thing with the streak these days, like Snapchat, you have streaks, and if you lose it and they're like, oh no, I'm like, guys, don't,
Look at
don't
you
worry about that
staying
stuff.
relevant.
Oh, minor. I've got yeah, the kids tell
Um,
me about it. I have Snapchat on my phone, but they're like, Dad, you use it wrong. I'm like, you're taking pick whatever. All right. So
yeah.
in here, the pink portion right here says, okay, it's for members. I mean, duh, yeah, of course, all you members. Now, the thing
Yep.
that we're opening it to also is friends and family. So if you've got friends and family, I mean, they can join in too, right?
Absolutely. Yes. Anyone is welcome.
Now, we
And
would
they
put them
don't
on
even
our
have to be
team.
local.
No, that's true.
They don't have to be local.
So, guys, if you've got family members that could use this, and I'm sure Andrea is going to say thumbs up to this, or say she's going to show thumbs up to this, but having that personal connection inside of a challenge or a thing you're doing, just
Huge.
yeah, raises the accountability.
Yep.
Makes it so much more fun. So if you
Yep.
got friends or family or enemies and you just want to punch them with some nutrition, yeah, tell them to join up. Okay, so this is a little different. I haven't done this before, but it then says head-to-head competition against others. Smiley face. So what does this head-to-head and competition kind of mean?
Yeah, so we are going to have a couple of other gyms playing along with you guys starting September 21st. And so CrossFit Garage is going to have a team, CrossFit PTC is going to have a team. I think there's one other gym, possibly two, that are signing up for that same date and time. So there'll be four teams.
Fighting it out.
CrossFitters, come on, what do we do best, right?
We lie and cheat and miscount reps. I mean,
No,
no,
no.
we push hard. Yeah, yeah,
We win.
that's right.
Competitive spirit. Look, we make it a little bit competitive, but it's not a scary competitive that it's gonna push people away.
No,
It's
it's meant to be
fun.
fun.
It's fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure. Okay,
Yep.
so we've got in the top right of this thing, it says, G of CrossFit Garage versus somebody coming soon. So you guys just heard that right now. Okay,
Yep.
so we're going to dive into some of this, what's included. So right at the beginning, it says you get two virtual individual meetings with your coach. So kind of go through what does that look like and what are we like getting out of that?
Yep, absolutely. So we're going to meet with each individual person before we kick off because we want to know what their goals are, what their obstacles are, what they're hoping to get out of the challenge. And from that, we're also going to find out what they do for fitness, how much they do it, because we're going to calculate a caloric number for them for the challenge.
Okay, so everyone just doesn't get 1100.
Oh gosh, no, no, no. You'd have to be a very tiny person, woman, to get that amount of calories.
Yeah.
No.
Well, it is funny when people do that. They're like, well, I just keep dieting myself down and caloric deficiting. I'm like, your body's shutting down. That's why you like, if you actually like ate more, you'd probably, yeah,
Yeah.
it can be such a confusing topic.
It's a very nuanced because each individual person is so different. Uh,
Right.
there is that magic formula, but then you have to apply it to a person and then extricate all of the data that's coming out of it and go from there.
Right. Now I do that in the gym. So I tell people like the other day we were doing, I think it was deadlift. Was it deadlifts? I don't know, but say it was a deadlift. I think it was a hang power clean. Anyway, and I said, hey, I'm going to tell you to bring your feet in more and you're going to hate me for it, but you do pay me. So try listening. But I get that this is a most thing. Most of the time, most of the people mostly like it like this, but your feet may be different. Your hips may be different. Actually, I know they're different. Nobody's made exactly the same. So try it, see what you think, and then undo it if you want to. But this is exactly right. Same thing with nutrition.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is
It
why I
is.
think it's super valuable to have a mentor or a coach in pretty much anything that you're trying to start because I don't really know what I'm doing and I'm going to doubt or not really self-check like, oh, where's my feet at? What am I actually eating? Where you've already done this and you've gone before. So you could tell us, oh yeah, Andy, that's not even a vegetable. Don't eat it, right? Whatever.
Right. But we like to kind of do more of an inclusive coaching style where we actually want your feedback and we want to kind of make these decisions together, coach and client, so
Right.
that you actually have buy-in because we want you to want to do this and want to eat whatever it is where that would be healthier for you.
Right. Well, and you want them to be able to, at the end of the 8 weeks to have some habits that continue.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
So
it's
we're going to do that meeting in the beginning, and then at the end
okay.
of the challenge, we're going to kind of assess how the 8 weeks went and see where they're at, talk about what their biggest aha moment was from the challenge, what they learned, what seems to still be an obstacle for them, and then kind of give them some steps forward.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. All right. So then it says we got weekly virtual accountability meetings. How does that play out?
Yeah, so every Saturday morning, we're going to have a meeting, a Zoom meeting, just like this. It's going to be a habits-based lesson, mostly working on mindset, kind of like your streak mindset, that all or nothing mindset. And we're going to talk through those every week for 8 weeks, and that's how you earn your bonus points. You show up to those meetings, you get bonus points.
Okay. Very cool. And so we got the next line item says there's a meal plan. What is that? What does that kind of look like?
Yeah, so we do have a registered dietitians that work for us. So in Georgia, we can legally give out meal plans because we do.
Yeah, that's a
It's
tricky subject right there. Yep.
it is. It is. So look, it doesn't have to be your Bible, but it can. You can do a couple of things with it. You can steal from it, maybe find some new recipes. You can kind of see how we've put meals together and get an idea of quantities, or you can follow it along for a little bit until you settle into your own routine. It
Okay.
will be within the calorie range I give you.
Okay. I like that. All right. So the next one is daily group accountability. How does that play out?
Yeah, so in our app that we have, our nutrition app, there is a group that will be a group just for this challenge, and everybody needs to post in that once a day.
Okay. And I know you said you had some daily challenges as well.
Yep, we
And
do.
that we'll do that in the rules, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
cool. So then the next one is lessons on developing healthy habits.
Right. So habits take time, and we're going to keep working those habits. So I don't give, or I shouldn't say, I do give macros. They're not required for the challenge.
Okay.
That's not to say I'm not going to encourage you. Some of the habits is let's take a look at how much protein you're not eating. We're going to work on that. It's one of the first things that we work on. Um,
I
because
pretty much tell everybody before they even ask, I'm like, eat more protein, drink more water. Okay. Then come back to me.
yeah, yeah. So I let everybody kind of go off on, for the first week and try and hit their calories. But that very next Saturday, we're talking about macronutrients, and their first homework for that week is protein.
Okay. Now, I have been telling everybody, guys, don't do this if you're like, I just want to sort of play along. No, 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 no. This is intense. There's homework, there's measuring of food. I mean, we want you to be all in for 8 weeks. Give it the time and energy that your health deserves. So think about it like this. I'm 50. Most of my friends are 50. 76 is the half-life of a human. So most guys, most people die. Half the people, I mean, half your people, your friends, whatever, are dead before 76. For me, that's only 26 years. I want to be on the other side doing awesome. And so this sticky why that I've got is like, what am I looking for? This picture that I put out in the future is I want to be healthy and fit enough to coach my kids in soccer. There's a lot of stuff that goes into that. But for
Right.
what we're saying here is I got to work out and I have to eat right. If I'm not doing that, then I'm probably not going to make it to the place where I want to see myself. So guys, find yourself a sticky why, keep it in mind and use it as motivation as well as accountability to kind of push you into a better place. You don't have to track and measure things all the time, but I swear, even I thought, tracking and measuring is dumb. I did it for 2 weeks. I was like, I learned a lot.
Yeah, and we do work on the why during the challenge too.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So you'd mentioned a scale. So okay, pretend I don't even know what that means. What do you mean measure my food? What?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. Normally in our normal one-on-one nutrition program, we don't start people out by having them weigh and measure food. In fact, it was be amazing if a client never had to do that to become aware of the quantity they're eating.
That's the key
How-
word,
Yeah.
aware.
Yes.
Nobody knows. They're like, oh, it's just, it's just this much. It's like a hand size. You're like, no, no,
Yeah.
no. Weigh that shit. Stuff.
Yeah.
Weigh that stuff. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So it really is, if you've never weighed and measured your food before, you are either way under eating or way overeating. And it's pretty eye-opening. It really
Yeah.
is. And
So
what's
an
really
interesting fact that,
eye-opening,
sorry, go ahead.
no, no, no. What's really eye-opening too is those little bites that you take here and there, or maybe you're grabbing a few things off your kid's plate. That stuff adds up so quickly.
Totally. So I was with maybe it was with you guys, or was Rick on a plane going up to a two brain thing or whatever, but or maybe it was one of his podcasts. Anyway, he said that I think 80% of the labels are or labels measure 80% incorrectly or something like that. So if you're not like if you're guessing and using their guess, then you're double guessing. So you're like really far off the mark. So at least understand by subtracting. Is that something like that?
Yeah, it's a 20% error margin on those nutrition labels.
Right.
Yeah.
That's insane. They can be 20. I mean, back when I was a sales guy, if I was off by 20%, they would have words.
Hey, off topic, I'm going to totally blow your mind. So my daughter is a medicinal chemist, and
Okay.
the drugs that we take can be 10% off
Oh, wow. That
from
could kill
prescription
someone.
to, yeah,
So
right.
another fun one on that is there was another podcast. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and they said they did a study. It was E.C. Zinkowski's, her,
Oh, her 800 gram.
yeah, that her anyway. So she
Yeah.
was talking about it, and the studies showed that 50% of the over-the-counter supplements and things like that, the things you could just go off and get off the shelf, didn't even have a single gram of whatever it was they said they had. So 50% didn't even have it, any of it, zero. So when you bought, protein powder, it's just like sawdust or whatever. You're like, what the heck? So it's insane.
I know. You have to be really careful. So if you're going to supplements, we help with that too. We definitely can hook you up with some good supplements unless you have
Yeah, we
uh,
got driven in the gym, but I mean, we're open to anything. I just
yeah.
picked them. They were clean and they were convenient.
Yeah, yeah, but actual supplements, looking for third party tested
Yeah, and they were
supplements.
third party tested. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay, so in here we've got some other pieces I want to kind of pull apart. Oh no, we never went down what the measuring was. So what does it mean to actually like weigh your food? So how I hold it and I step on a person scale and then
No, they make food scales,
I see if
right?
I
So
can
you're
find
gonna buy
one.
a food scale. They're cheap, $15. And you want to make sure you get one that has a tare function, Tare.
For you
Um,
guys that don't understand techo speak, that means you can zero it out. So if you have a
right.
bowl and you're about to put spaghetti in it, you either weigh the bowl first and then tear it and then put the spaghetti in, or you eat everything and then weigh the bowl afterwards and do some math.
Sure. I like to do it the first way.
Yeah, no math.
Put the bowl on the scale, hit tare, add your spaghetti to the bowl.
So you can
Right.
see it on the screen right there. There's just a button you push, and it's a fancy scientific word. Tear just means zero out the bowl, take it away. But weirdly, I've seen people do it. They take a plate. Let's say it's got steak and potatoes on it, whatever. They take the plate with steak and potatoes, put it on, and hit tear. I'm like, no, that's not what you do. Get an empty plate, put
Nice.
it on there,
That'd be
tear it, then put your plate
nice.
on it. Yeah, people do some funny things.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So
you can find that at Walmart or Target, or you can order one on Amazon. It doesn't really matter. As long as it weighs, it's got decimals, it's going to be as accurate as we need it to be.
absolutely. Right.
Okay.
So we're gonna weigh and measure all of our food. Um, but I know that we are still going. I want you guys to still be able to live your life, go out to dinner if you want to. So we're gonna learn how to use your hand portion in place of the scale when you go out.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good trick.
so don't stress that you won't be able to do anything social for 8 weeks because you will.
Right.
Uh,
Now, if you're like, I know the CrossFit competitors or high level athletes will track and measure everything, because what they're trying to do is create enough food to support their training, not to create extra fat. So they're like dialing it in super. And so you see them eat like chicken, rice, and broccoli a lot because it's a very known quantity to them.
right. And look, they're competitors, they're going to the games, they're playing for money, right? That's the big league.
We're not doing
But
that.
they're not doing that in the off season.
Yeah.
They are slacking a little bit. Not so much, but we need to find us normal people down here on with our feet firmly planted on earth. We need to find our happiest, healthiest place that we can sustain.
Right.
And that's what we want to help people do.
Right. No, that's exactly right. So, okay. So in there, we got nutrition. So at the bottom, it says why you should join. We got nutrition coaching. We've talked about that. You guys been in business a while, have great coaches, accountability, support and accountability. And weirdly, like at the gym, I tell them, my coaches, the rules are fun, fitness, and then coaching. Because if you're not having fun with a community, you're never going to come back. And if you don't come back, you can't get fit. If you just show up, I'll get you fit. And then once they know you care, they're going to care what you know, and I can give them some good coaching. But if you go straight in with like hardcoreness, then you're just like, you're a jerk. So this community and support is great. Okay. Then we got weight loss or muscle gain, gain confidence. And this is true. When I did this on my own, just to kind of, if ever my kids do a thing and I think, oh, that could be interesting and they should use some support, I jump in with them. So Levi was trying to, he was turning, I guess, 17, 18 or whatever. And, boys at that age are like, want to bulk up, Dad. I'm like, so you got my genes. I don't know if there's much bulking going to happen. But he was eating something like 3,000 calories, mostly protein. I'm like, I'll try, buddy. And we were tracking stuff. And he's like, you suck. I'm like, I know. I just can't do it. But it did give me confidence to understand, like, what do I really need to eat? And I like the last one right there. So you guys, we're going to have some fun with this. And what we're going to do now is go into some of the rules for the challenge. And I'll have this posted, but this way you get to listen to it and hear it.
Yeah, so go ahead and scroll down to the rules, right? Because we know we went over why you should do a challenge. So we're going to have a spreadsheet. It's a Google Doc. This is how we keep score. And you have the opportunity to earn 80 points a day.
Oh, nice.
How are you going to do that? Each of these 10 things or 8 things is worth 10 points. So you're going to track your nutrition in MyFitnessPal, 10 points. You're going to come within 10% of the caloric goals I gave you, 10% under, 10% over. We want to try somewhere in there to also help people understand intuitive eating, listening to what their body is telling them. We got to move 15 minutes a day, purposeful movement.
You got that covered, guys.
Yep, good. We're going to do half our body weight in ounces of water every day. We're going to stretch 10 minutes a day. Now, how many minutes do you get in class? About
60.
No, stretching.
Oh, yeah. So we'll do some at the beginning. So there's a warm up, which usually is 10 minutes, but not all stretching. And then at the end, they usually have time to cool down. So I'd say there's 10 minutes built in to the day.
Okay.
If they use it. A lot of times you guys walk out and you guys make me cry because you're like, I just finished. I'm huffing and puffing. I'll see you later. You're like, really? Just
Okay.
roll. You can't even drive. You can't even talk. Just roll, stretch. And they're like, no, I got to go do a thing for the thing. I'm like, ah.
Yep. 10 minutes. So it sounds like they're going to get 5 minutes in class. They have to do 5 more minutes a day.
Yeah, so usually 5 minutes at the beginning of class and 5 minutes at the end of class. So they should get 10 in class.
Cool. Supplements. Most people, we're going to have them take 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of good high quality omega-3s. If for some reason, like they have acid reflux, then we'll give them another supplement to take.
I was about to say, so I love fish oil, except
Yep.
when you burp it up and you're like, all day long, I'm going to taste this all day long. So yeah, there are ways around that. So yes, they will help you.
Yep. Sleep, in bed, lights out, devices away, at least attempting 7 hours. Look, that is the bare minimum that our body needs for recovery. And I do mean bare minimum. 8 to 9, much better.
Yeah, that's what, right before we started this, Andrew and I are like, it's almost time for bed. We better hurry up. So both of us are early. My kids know. They're like, hey, it's like 9:30. Where's Dad? Oh, he's already asleep. Like, that's right.
Yeah.
Don't mess with me. Well, the flip side, I wake up at 6 a.m. no matter what. It's crazy. No matter when I go to bed, 8 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I mean, it's usually before 10 p.m., but like 6 a.m., I am up. It's the weirdest thing.
It's me too. It's that internal alarm clock. Darn it. Communication. Okay, so this is where we go into our support group in the app and we just post. And what are people posting? So they're going to post encouraging words to somebody else. Maybe they heard somebody at I know, we'll talk about the pizza.
That's awesome. I love that.
Or they have something coming up and they need some help, or they just went on this awesome walk and they saw a rainbow because it just rained. I mean, it runs the gamut. What we're looking for is you're keeping your head in the game. That's all it is. Your head's in the game. And yes, this is what a team is for, right? We are all in this together. And if I'm having a really bad day and I want to go eat a whole pizza, my whole team's going to eat the pizza with me. If my points go down the
Right.
So, reach out for help. Say, hey, does anybody have any suggestions? I really want pizza. I don't have any bonus points. I ate too many calories already.
Right.
Help me. What have you done? And sometimes it helps. Most times it helps.
Right. Just having someone else. That is true. Um, when it's your problem, it's hard to see the solution, right? You can't see the forest for the trees, right? So when someone else says it, you're like, oh, the answer's easy. So it's taken me 50 years to stop solving all the problems that my family throws out or friends throw out. I'm just like, mm-hmm. And I'm like, hey, that's crazy. Or that person's just jealous of you. I don't give solutions anymore. But it's taken me forever to do it because when you're on the outside, you're like, just don't hang out with them, right? But when it's you, sometimes it's hard to see it. So totally ask. That's man, having people along the journey is super super powerful. Okay, so I see this like it's 10 points or $2 or something like that. What does that mean?
Right. So everybody starts with a clean slate. And then the first week is the only time we ask you to be perfect. Okay. And if you miss one of those items, we throw $2 into a pot. It's a max cap of $5 a day. So don't stress that you're gonna have all this money. But here's part of the fun part, and this really is part of the accountability part too. Maybe you don't want to put $2 in the pot. So maybe the pizza needs to wait until you get those bonus points on the weekend. That's okay too. Or maybe you're somebody who, I'm gonna win that pot at the end of this. I'm going hard. So at the end of the challenge, all the money in the pot goes to the winning team and they split it.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah.
a stick in a carrot. That's good.
Mhm. Yep.
All right, so then down here you got some bonus points. What is this?
Right. So every Saturday, starting the second Saturday, if you show up to the meeting and you listen to the lesson, you earn 2 misses, 20 bonus points.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are accruable. So if you have some big weekend coming up or you got a trip coming up, you can just store your bonus points.
Very cool. All right. So guys, there's let me go back to this flyer. So pretty much it all is laid out right here. You've got your meetings, there is a plan, you have a coach that will work with you, and then we've got rules to make it a little bit more fun. And everyone loves to gamify stuff. Again, this is we're doing this because they asked what kind of challenge you want to do. And I said, I want to do one that's super serious because I've had people say, hey, I need help. And guys, this engagement here, if you can do it for 8 weeks, you're going to change the trajectory of what you're doing. And just a slight change moves the Titanic tremendously. Well, that's a bad example because it sank. Moves the airplane off course and onto a new course over time dramatically, right? So these steps are going to be integral. All right. What else would you like to share? Anything we missed in that from the brochure or the flyer or the rules?
Yeah, so
Just the inside.
let me just tell people a little bit about what Smart and Simple Nutrition, like what we are at our heart. We are habits-based nutrition coaching. We are trying to help people get rid of the bad habits, replace them with good habits that they feel they can sustain, right? We're not trying to turn people into, no offense, but carnivores, because unless that's what they want, we want to support what's sustainable for them. And so we try and do it as pain-free as possible by just stacking habits one on top of the other slowly. So it just becomes how people live.
Right. No, and that's matter of fact. So I'm like 12-ish years of not eating sugar or grain. It didn't happen all of a sudden overnight. It took time to like look at the labels and go, huh, look at that. My mustard has brown sugar. I didn't know that.
Crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So you just do a little bit, like some of the big ones are obvious, like, hey, ice cream. I mean, the birthday cake. I mean, that has sugar in it, right? So, but over time, it becomes a thing. So you give yourself time like this to layer in your habits and your accountability, and it does help change the direction. Again, we're looking. For me, I would tell you get 1% change. it's going to steer you in a great direction. And then maybe later on, do it again and get another 1% change. Just do something better. Say no to that extra Coke. These things are going to, yes, I love that you guys sweat because I mean, I own a gym. I really like the idea of CrossFit. It's seriously a hack to being healthy and fit. I love it. But if you eat like trash, man, you're never going to really reap the rewards of the other thing you're doing.
Right. But there's a happy medium
Yeah.
in there. There really is because, I also I'm about to turn 56, right? So I'm only 20 years to that 76-year-old age that you threw out there a little bit ago. And I don't want to give up everything. I still want to find some enjoyment in my life. I want to be able to go out to dinner with my husband on the weekend. I want to have a glass of wine. I want to have chocolate, right? So it is finding that place for each individual person where they're gonna get to their healthiest, they're
Right.
gonna be their happiest, and it's gonna be sustainable, right? We're not jumping on and off that hamster wheel anymore. We're gonna get out of that yo-yo dieting cycle.
Right. And that's huge right there. All right, guys. So this will start up on September 21st. I've got this flyer up on the whiteboard next to the two front TVs, and you can scan the QR code and sign up, or just put your name underneath the flyer, or text or email me, and I'll get it. Actually, email me is probably the best way because if you text me, I'll read it and then totally forget to do it. Andy at CrossFitGarage.com, and I'll sign you up. If you've got loved ones that want to do it that aren't part of the gym, I can give them a link and email it out to them so they can sign up that way. And this is going to be, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, and listen, if anyone wants to talk to me some more about it, will you shoot a link or post a link
Yeah.
for them to set up a consultation with me? I'll happily talk to any of you guys, answer any of your questions about the upcoming Kickstart or one-on-one nutrition.
So what I'll do in the show notes for YouTube and the podcast is I'll put a meeting link to Andrea, and you guys can, if anybody wants to schedule something, by all means, schedule directly with them. I don't care. I don't do this part to like crush on the money. This is not what it's about. The whole business is not, I mean, there has to be profit to have passion, but I am passionate about helping you guys get to the end awesome. And I know I ask you guys all, actually, so this is something that I've done over time. We used to do 90-day goal reviews, and people didn't really want to do them. So then I just started asking, like, tell me your goals. I'll put it in a Google Doc, and then once a month or once every 2 months, I'll just ping you on the goal that you were tracking. 90% of them is about food. I'm like, we're a sweaty gym, but 90% is food. So, okay, I mean, I know how to do that. I know how to help you. But guys, this is for you. This is what many of you are asking for. So it's going to be great.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm
All
excited.
right, cool. Yeah, me too. All right, guys. So I will put this in the show notes if you want to get to Andrea. If you want to be part of our challenge, I'll also put the link in there too. Of course, if you're listening to this late and it's not, but it's past September 21st, you don't want to use my link because there's nothing going on. We'll put another one out there. But Andrea's connection or scheduling meeting will always be active.
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.